What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Tori Amos, and we're returning for her 1994 album Under the Pink. And the next track is Icicle, a straightforward visual reference. I suppose icicles have the distinction of being frozen, but also always on the verge of being in a liquid state, meaning they're known for being the condensation that happens when water is dripping down but then reaches a point where it freezes. So yeah, I feel like there could be some figurative meaning to representing a transition from one state to another. It could be indicative of the general idea of being cold and frozen, and also they're known for being sharp, so there's a bit of danger to them, at least if you're under when they fall, or they could indeed be used as a weapon, as a lot of detective stories have utilized. And when it comes to, wait, what's the murder weapon? There's just a puddle of water on the floor. Oh, but it was an icicle. So again, I don't expect that necessarily to be relevant, but they're an artifact that has some transitional qualities to it, so, or to them. So yeah, I do wonder whether it will relate to emotion or someone's heart and being used as a metaphor for how cold and frozen and dangerous it is. Either way, I'll try to pick up what I can on the first listen, and given Tori's lyrical themes that I've already heard over the course of a couple albums, I don't make any presumptions in advance, even when something is as straightforward as an icicle. So let's hear it, and I'll try not to run over Lucas' tail here. This is Tori Amos, the track is Icicle, and it's from her 1994 album Under the Pink. It's a little unsettling, suspenseful. A bit like a snow globe, but like tense.
Icicle, where are you going? Where are you going? Icicle, icicle, where are you going? I have a hiding place when spring marches, and will you keep watch for me? I hear them calling. Gonna lay down. Gonna lay down. Greeting the monster in our Easter dresses. Fathers, bow your head like the good book says. I think the good book is missing some pages. Gonna lay down, gonna lay down. And when my hand touches myself, I can finally rest my hand. And when they say take of his body, I think I'll take from mine instead. Getting off while they're rolling downstairs, singing praise, sing away. He's in my pumpkin PJs. Lay a book on my chest. Feel the word, 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 and feel it. I could have, I should have, I could have flown over. I could have, I should have, I didn't. So icicle, icicle, where are you going? I have a hiding place when spring marches in. Will you keep watch for me? I hear them calling. Gonna lay down, gonna lay down, lay down, I'm gonna lay down.
Fascinating. So I'll try to approach the lyrics first while they're sort of fresh in my head. It sounded like poetry. Now, a lot of songwriting, in some sense, sounds like poetry because it often rhymes. Not always, of course, but often. And it's not usually, or at least not always, full, complete sentences. It's sometimes phrases, parts of expressions. So even saying that, this song felt like it had a poetic flavor to the themes, to the words. And not only did it sound transitional, as I was thinking maybe in the opening, in the sense of an icicle maybe melting as spring, what was it, marches on, but also her use of the verb, lay it down, is, and again, people can use words however, it doesn't have to be grammatically sound, but you lie down yourself, you lay an object down. So I lie down, but I lay a book down. So I wondered, talking about like I have a hiding place. So I feel like that could be for her emotions, but it could also be for an icicle. And again, just having that reference of seeing some detective stories where they were trying to figure out what the murder weapon was and so on. I then wondered if, given some of the intense sonics, certainly in that opening, the opening felt at times dissonant, a bit scary, almost like a little piano theme you'd hear in a very tense horror movie scene. I wondered whether there was some danger to it, whether maybe there was a suggestion of using it as a weapon and laying it down, keeping it in a secret place, a hiding place. Now, overall, I feel like maybe it wasn't about that. Maybe it was more about atmosphere, weather as indicative of seasonal change and so on. But I did wonder for a moment whether the use of the verb lay it down, or I don't know if it was it, but instead of lie, it was the verb lay, and I wondered whether it was talking about the object, the icicle itself. Either way, her vocals, similar to those I've heard in a number of other performances, although more subdued and restrained in many respects, but still a bit of that breathy quality at the end of some of the lines, sort of the twist and the lilting nature of the delivery in the middle of some of the lines. And yes, obviously another piano-based tune, but different than I've meant when I've said that in relation to some of her other songs. Again, there was a wintry quality to it. As I mentioned at the beginning, it almost sounded like if you took that simple melodic theme that you sometimes hear when you wind and play snow globes, but instead with a bit of suspense to it, a bit of unease to it. But then when it got into, after that opening, the, let's say, main section of the tune, it became more overtly melodic, and there was a bit of mystery, a bit of fantasy to the sound of the piano playing. So I really don't know how it stitches all together thematically or narratively, but again, there was a poetry to it, and fair to say, a lot of poetry. It doesn't necessarily make sense as a full, complete story from beginning to end. Sometimes poetry speaks to an idea, a feeling, or just gives you a visual sketch, and it's not necessarily a narrative, again, with a proper, firm conclusion that explains everything that you heard. Either way, I found it very compelling and transfixing. I was really hanging on every line and every melodic turn that it took. So, another cool one from Tori. Curious to hear what people think. Let me know, and I will see you next time. Peace.